Everything I spit rare, we sounded that great. Area podcast, they talk about hip hop all the way in the
It's sad, and I feel like I've got to do it.
Well, this is a special edition for us because I think this is the very first time we've ever reviewed a non-rap album. But I think it's safe to say that Sampha is very much a part of the scene, very much connected to the culture. And we all love this artist, and we could not miss the opportunity to talk about the first album in, 6.5, 7 years from him in full at length. So let's not waste too much time. Quickly, I just wanted to double check. Was all of our introductions to Sampha Subtract?
I think, I think you'd be lying if you said it wasn't that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
2010, 2011 time. And there's this man singing like a ghostly angel in the background of these electronic beats. And he's all over it. He's like half the album. So I thought he was Subtract for a long, long time. Then I found out he was called Sampha, and
No, for real. But even when I
history.
saw him in Reading, like I think he came out as well. So it was just like they're just one and the same, weren't they, at the start?
Yeah. They had a good little groove going on as well, though, because that music, if you think back to that time, it was of its time, but it was also timeless, if that makes sense. Like, because Sampha's songwriting, and I guess a little bit of his at that point, I didn't know he could produce or even play instruments, but the fact that he probably had his hand in all those tracks on a deeper level, it made them special to me. A lot of them, there's songs like what's it called, Trials of Past.
Yeah, oh man,
songs like that, and all the rest of them that he's on. Hold On. Oh, I've never heard emotion like that in a song, and I guess it's probably because of the uniqueness of his voice. I don't really know what it was that made me gravitate towards that album, but it was definitely Sampha for starts. But I don't know what it was that was.
I guess
sticking.
in like electronic, like housey or dancey kind of music, we've never really heard a vocal like that on it. Something quite soulful.
We hadn't heard a vocal like that ever. And do you know what I mean? Even up until now, the closest thing we have to a Sampha sounding voice is like Givian. And he's like, I'm not putting the voice on, that's my actual voice. So I think it's the uniqueness.
Yeah. Sampha's one of the rare artists where you just hear one note and you know it's him straight away. So distinct.
Like that Utopia feature where he literally has like one or two lines, but it's impactful.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out Jessie Ware as well, because Jessie Ware was part of that whole little clique. She was all over that Subtract album. So to see where they both are now is really interesting. I'd love them to do something.
That would be incredible if they did something.
Very interesting.
They're both still like, well, more Jessie Ware actually is in that dance realm, but more disco-y and stuff. But anyway. So yeah, 2010, 2011 times, like Sam says, we hear Sampha for the first time. And then 2013, I remember he was on a couple Drake tunes, The Motion, Too Much, which was his own song as well, because that's when he dropped the EP. Were there any other features around that time? I'm talking pre-Pablo, pre-Solange, all that. Were there any other notable ones? I think it was just the Drake stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's where the masses kind of clocked onto him, though, because they're like, who is this person? Why is he singing like this? Da, 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 da. Yeah. And to be fair, those are some very, very good songs. But yeah, I think that was what got the masses into him, is that kind of stuff.
I feel like
he didn't do anything.
Wrote half the songs in the industry at that time. They were just all over the hooks, writing everything. Sorry, would you say, Sam?
I said he didn't do anything after that. He kind of did Too Much and The Motion, and then I think, to be fair, some artists aren't actually caring about making music to make money. He's probably like, I'm living good off these, so do you know what I mean? Let me focus on my stuff.
Yeah. And then 2016 there was a bit more activity. He was on Pablo. He was on Solange's album, A Seat at the Table. I think that one really was where he popped off as well. Was it Don't Touch My Hair? Yeah.
It's the first time we've heard him on like real soul. I think the other tracks have been very much outside of his world.
Yeah, and he might have been on More Life as well, but that maybe came after Process, the debut album. I can't remember. I feel like it was around the same time. But yeah, then Process drops. Sam and I went to the gig at that point. We went to the tour.
I don't know if I went to the gig. I couldn't see. My eyes were all teary.
But yeah, I mean, we'll probably get into it a bit more. But Process was very much an album about grief, and it had that feel to it. And then I guess since then, there's, as elusive as he's still been fairly active in that there's been notable features since that time. Like we just mentioned More Life. I'm sure he did something with Loyal Kana.
Yeah, stuff
like
with Heady One as
Heady,
well.
Yeah.
He just kept popping up all over the place in my
Stormzy
eyes.
as well.
Yeah, there was also a track he did. I'm trying to remember the film's name as well because there was a mad emotional as well.
Oh,
and
mad.
he hit
Oh,
that
Riley?
Film at the start of this year.
Oh my god! And
It's a beautiful soundtrack, man. When we went cinema, Sean, I don't think anyone else came, did they? That was just mad.
No.
I was not expecting that soundtrack, and to get two songs, I think it was beautiful.
What film is this?
Rye Lane.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Fucking rubbish.
And do you know what? Shout out Quez as well, because I'd only read this recently, actually, prepping for this, that apparently Quez kind of discovered Sampha, or they like linked up on MySpace back in the day. And Quez is he just seems to be connected to a lot of the best artists coming out of our country in a really sort of low-key way. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. And of course, we haven't even mentioned Father Time yet with Kendrick last year, which is fitting considering what he's addressing on this album. Actually, it makes sense why he would work with Kendrick on a tune like that.
In places, I know this is a bit jumping the gun, but in places, this album sounds a bit like Kendrick's album with that kind of crazy piano shit going on and all that kind of stuff.
I wonder who informed who about that sound. Do you know what I mean?
100% Sampha onto Kendrick. Like, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't even question it.
But there was
Sampha plays the piano.
There was a producer that was on Mr. Morale.
I was going to say the other. It's Treasure. Have you heard Treasure by Sampha? Sampha. It's in The Beautiful Boy. That song is one of the most he has never. Well, when I say he's never, the emotion, because if you watch the film and then listen to Treasure by Sampha, he couldn't have hit the emotion any higher than possible.
When did this
it's incredible.
song come out?
2018.
Okay.
But if you watch the film as well and then listen to Treasure, oh my goodness me, it was that bad.
I wonder if Sampha's more into that. Like, he wants to make music for a purpose as opposed to making music for himself, because it seems like I don't know if this is right, but this is his second album, and he's been active in the scene for well over a decade now, if we're being honest. You know, to release 2 albums in a decade is a very conservative move, but maybe it's like he only wants to use them as timestamps to mark significant events, or as a tool to help someone else make better art. You know what I mean? He seems very selective. I've yet to hear a Sampha song where I'm a bit like, oh, you just did this for the money type thing. I don't know about that, but yeah.
Okay, should we get into it? Should we get into the album? I mean, I feel like a nice place to start would be with what it's about, the themes and the content. The name I wanted to bring up, because it's a name that comes up, well, it's a title of one of the songs, but a name that comes up more than once on the album is Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I think, Kieran, you before we started the call, there were some things you wanted to say, but you held fire waiting for this.
Yeah.
Was anyone familiar with this fable, with this story before this album?
No.
No, me neither.
I'd heard of it, but I'd forgotten. And when I read your thing, it made me realize, hold on, this isn't a real person. And then I checked it and I was like, oh, it's this story, this seagull story.
Do you know?
I don't know. Have you? I read the plot on Wikipedia, because I haven't read the book yet, but
right.
Have you read that as well, Sean?
I've read a brief sort of summary of what the stories, what the fable's addressing about. Well, here I've got it here about potential and dreaming and passion and the meaning of life, and just that alone makes the album it
makes it go deeper, right? But I when I read the plot, I'll try and summarize it a bit more just to make it easier. But kind of about this seagull that's different from society. He gets labeled an outcast because he wants to fly more and do all these tricks and start to move super fast. It kind of reminds you of a musician, how they just do stuff like that. And again, he gets outcasted. He perfects his style. Something happens and he kind of enters heaven or the spirit world. And then everyone they train, and then he comes back and tries to show everyone this knowledge that he's learned of time warping and jumping, because the what he finds out in the spirit world is that time isn't linear and everything's happening all at once, and it's proper deep. All the kind of spiritual concepts just come to him in this experience. And I don't know, when you listen to the album, I feel almost every single lyric is actually referencing or linking towards that story. So it's really interesting. Check out the Wikipedia plot for that book.
Yeah, no, you summed that up really well. And I think that's what I've now come to realize, where I've done a little bit of reading about this story, is that this is a really conceptual album. You know, really looks like it's tight. It's consistent throughout. It's something that I didn't pick up on the first few listens. Within the first week or two, we're recording this 13th of November, so it's been out almost a month now. Like you said, I think the first few times I thought this was a person. I was like, oh, I wonder who that is. And that's when I that's when I found out what it was all about. But I mean, not necessarily about this fable, but these themes are things like time and finding purpose and that. Did any of these things resonate with like you, Theo, or Sam, without having any context about this, what this kind of concept is?
It kind of felt like he was describing a process of being one thing and then now being the thing that, you know what I mean, like two sides of something. I don't know how to describe it without sounding odd, but it's like, obviously he's talking about being a father and being a son, and talking about grieving and obviously being a father and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it just felt there was like duality to it, and I guess I was kind of leaning that way because of the whole Spirit 2.0 thing. But I don't know what Theo has to say on it. But yeah, my understanding was a bit kind of like, I was so lost in the amazingness of hearing it that I wasn't really hearing the concepts like that. Do you know what I mean? I was kind of also kind of trying to understand it, but I was like, oh, Sampha's singing so angelic.
yeah. It's hard to get past that at first, isn't it? You just get caught up in the melodies and the chords and all that. But no, I fully get what you mean. And actually, from listening to it more, doing a bit of reading, listening to an interview or two, so that the album title Lahai, that is, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct as well, Lahai, but I think it's his grandfather's name and also his middle name. And there's a lot of references, or there's some references throughout the album to mirrors and oscillation and things like that. And I just wonder whether he is, I don't know, suggesting that maybe he's kind of living through his grandfather, or like, I don't know, making comparisons between him and his grandfather.
A visual definitely he highlighted that. I think he dropped a visual like the day before the album, and it looked like Black Panther when you go into the ancestor world and you start communicating with the people from the past.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So maybe we're all onto something then. What about you, Theo? Did this or did anything else sort of resonate with you? I mean,
just that. Oh no, the fatherhood stuff definitely, but even the spirit, I can't even get my words together. Even the spiritual stuff, because of like feeling free and having a purpose through life. That was like, songs were like properly talking to me, massively talking to me, and how there's a meaning of life and being reflective. Because that was a good point where you're talking about the mirrors, because almost living through someone else, and that was really. That was really resonating with me. I was thinking like people that have helped you along the way, and like going through like a rite of path. It almost made me think about my mum, like going through the same rite of path. So that definitely like hit home. But it was just beautiful, and just like touching what Sam says, his singing is just angelic. But there's certain songs that are just, I don't know, they just hit and they just resonate massively.
It's funny you say that the mum stuff as well, because that was what Process was about, right? Was dealing with that grief and going through that, excuse the pun, process. But I think something that I picked up on really quickly with this was just the very different tone to Process. This one feels way more positive and optimistic and upbeat, and it's reflected in the lyrics too. And I wonder whether I'm trying to work out whether he started with the whole, like, to bring it back to the Jonathan L. Seagull thing, whether he started with that as the idea and then like formed an album out of that, or whether it just kind of came about organically. Like he would just
to correlate with the story. Yeah. It does seem more fluid, to be honest, because when you listen to the album, it's not clear, is it, that this is what the album's about? But I feel like if you consider that concept, it works so well, even just from the sonics of how he's produced. It sounds like, I don't want to sound weird, but it sounds like you're flying over the ocean, the whole album.
100% it does.
And like that is the Seagull experience as well.
What I wanted to say was about the album artworks. So the first one's a bit like, almost like a mugshot, like a picture you take of someone to be like, this person is grieving. You know what I mean? Like, study this in a university or something. Look at this person. Are they grieving?
You're talking about Process.
Yes. Yeah. And then for Lahai, or however you say it, apologies for that. But it's like, you know, when you drop that bit of dirt on someone when they're in the ground being buried. You know, you drop a handful of
Yeah,
dirt.
yeah.
That's almost what it looks like. Do you know what I mean? Like he's like letting something go, and it's like you feel like you're in the clouds with them. It's like, where is this? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you know the camera's on the ground and obviously the camera's in the sky, but it feels like you're being transported to a place that's not quite here. Do you know what I mean? Like Kieran describing it as flying over the ocean is a very a very good description.
What are they dropping though? Like every time I look at the album,
I know,
I keep thinking, like, what is that? A pill or a headphone or a cloud?
There's lots of it. There's like 3 or 4 bits of it that I could see when I was looking at it. I was like, I think it's just like stones or pebbles. But for me, it definitely enacts that idea of like when you bury someone, you grab a handful of dirt and you drop a handful of dirt on the coffin. It feels like that. It's almost that, okay, there's grieving, and then there's the funeral part where it happens. It's like you're letting go, and obviously you still grieve afterwards. You grieve forever; it never ends. But it felt a bit like that. It felt like a moving out of mourning type picture. And I don't really look at album artwork that much anymore, but this one was one that I liked looking at. I even put it up on the TV, which is very unlike me as well. Normally I just play it through the speakers, but I put it up on the TV, and when I was sat there listening to it, I was just looking at it, just trying to, you know what I mean, piece all the bits together, because I feel like it's worth that with Sampha's stuff.
Not in a funny way. They're kind of dressed like seagulls as well, like they're all white.
Man, it's stuck on this seagull analogy. I was going to say angels, but yeah, sure.
But it's also angelic. Yeah. No, it's a lot of things. Isn't it?
There's a lot of there's parallels though between the two, right? From the whole idea of flying through the sky and the white feathers and the wingspan, and
the whole story. In fact, like the thing I told you about when they go to heaven or like the spirit world, like the rest of the seagulls that are there are all like this, like Jonathan Seagull. He's like, they can all super fly, and they teach him how to like teleport and stuff. It's so sick.
I might have to read this.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think some people study it. Like it may have been on the school curriculum for some people. That's what I was reading. I don't know about now, but I think it is quite a well studied.
I just want to add something about that concept actually, because in 2012 or 2013, the author actually reissued it with a 4th part of the story, and it was like based like 1,000 years later or whatever, and like people were like, in the story, like the seagulls are like a religion now, and they're like worshipping Jonathan Seagull for like how he came back to Earth and showed them the teleporting, whatever. But like someone gets like jaded from how like no one's practicing the flying; they're just like doing a religion and these rituals. So then he just like tries to do like a deep dive into the ocean to like just kill himself. And in the moment just before he hits the floor, like a flash of white comes and says, "Why are you doing this?" And the story ends. And I think this album references that in moments as well. I think it's on Spirit or some. I think one of the songs where he talks about deep diving, but his friends catch him before he falls. Something about free fall. I don't know if the lyrics are you can remember, but yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I might be asking a question that's too difficult. Do you think Sampha finds like the answers here? Like if we're talking about like finding meaning, or there's a lot of existentialism here as well. Do you think he like finds that with this album or not?
There's a lot of searching in it. A lot of searching in this album.
Yeah. I don't know if you're meant to. He's only 34, right? Do we ever really figure out the meaning?
He seems to give the answer that is love a lot of the time, actually. I think a lot of the songs, there's the moments of desolation at the end, and then like I think like Only comes in or something, and like you're just feeling like that love coming back again.
Yeah.
I think Theo was going to say something. Or like
No, I was just because I was agreeing with the theme of love being a big part of it. I've noticed that throughout the whole thing, like saying that love is a big part of rediscovering yourself. That's what the album's spoken to me anyway. That is a big theme. Whether he's found all the answers within this album or not, I'm not entirely sure. But he might have found that the fact that love is a big part to play. Because there's loads of songs where it references it, reference it.
It's in the book.
At the end.
It's a big theme in the book as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I love this, man. I love it's so once you sort of discover this, what this is based on, this fable, and you do realize how conceptual it is. It makes sense why it took so long to make it, is what I guess I'm trying to say, and why time is needed to put together bodies of work like this. Okay, can we talk about the production, because this is something that hit me immediately, and we all know that Sampha is an incredible pianist, and pianos are important on this. And I think I was listening to him talk about how he bought maybe a new acoustic key related instrument. I'm not sure. I don't really know the full details. But the thing that stood out to me on this were the drums. The drums for me are banging. Like, I love the drums here. Like even on like when Spirit came out. And I was really pleased to see, because I don't know if anyone got this impression from Spirit or on just this album in general, but to me, there's a real jungle influence here. Drum and bass maybe as well, but jungle, like the break beats on here have really got that feel to it. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about these drums? Because they are very, like, there's a lot of this is angelic music, but there's some like really quick drum breaks and beats going on in the background. Do we like them? Are they too much? Like, what do we think?
There's times where it sets a nice vibe for the song, but there's other times where it's just, I don't know, it feels like a bit kind of, I wanna dance, but I can't dance. You know what I mean? Because there's no groove. There's like no bass. It's just like a break beat that comes out. You know what I mean? I don't know. If I'm honest, I don't know if I dislike it or like it. I just kind of vibe with it. If that makes sense.
I fully get you. There's certain songs on here, and I haven't had this feeling really since Blonde, where I'm listening to compositions. That's probably the best word I can think to call some of these songs or these productions, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this yet, but I like it, I think. And then over time, like for instance, there's certain tracks on Blonde that took a couple years for me to go, oh yeah, that really works. I guess what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is I think this album's ahead of its time. I think we're hearing not necessarily like individual sounds that are new, but just like new compositions that we at least haven't heard from an artist within this kind of lane from where we're from, making music like this. I do really think it's quite progressive, a lot of the stuff that's going on here.
He's a drummer as well. I think I've seen him performing with drums a lot of the time, so he's definitely got a massive grasp on complex rhythms and patterns.
That's
just
true,
like
actually.
the basic.
Yeah, he does perform with the drums.
I wanted to use the reference again. I feel like I need to stop, but like it kind of sounds like the drums are like flying in the air and like they're just like clashing in moments. They're very loose drums. Yeah, I don't know. Like I was kind of imagining like like if a drum's falling and it's like hitting while it's in the air and falling, because there's different weights. So like different, because the way that the kicks and snares and stuff are just hitting, like they're not in places you expect at all ever. Sometimes it's like I call it like a machine gun kick. It's so cool.
Yeah. Well, do you know what it reminded me of? It's interesting you say that, because that does make sense. For me, it was like, I think it was you, Kieran, as well. You mentioned about the whole thing about time not being linear. Did you say that?
Or timelessness as well, like timeless kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it feels like at times that that's kind of reflected in the lyricism here and the content, where he's kind of like, it's almost like flickering between memories or like just kind of bouncing around, and that's kind of the drums are a bit scatterbrained like that as well. It's just a bit like glitchy, almost like he's trying to find the right frequency to match that mood, or I don't know. Maybe I'm going a bit off on that, but the one thing I will say though is I think the mix deserves a big shout out, because never do these drums get in the way for me. I never ever find them to like be intrusive or anything like that, and for a like jungle-esque tempo, I think that's really impressive, man, considering the other instrumentation that's going on.
If we're going to talk about the mix, though, there are sometimes I feel like Sampha's vocal is a bit dry. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why I want to hear it washed with so much reverb or delay, but it's like, especially on the start, it sounds really dry. Like there's nothing on it. It's just straight up raw microphone. You know what I mean? That's how it sounds to me.
There's a good contrast though when it goes to that reverby place, because I guess like maybe he's working with that spirit world kind of thing. Like when he gets more ethereal, it becomes more reverby. When he's being more honest or like a bit like sunken in the human world, it's a bit more like that raw dryness.
Damn.
True.
I did hear in the interview with Zane Lowe that there is a drummer playing with him on the tour that's apparently incredible. I can't remember the name. I wish I did, but apparently at the live shows they're like changing up the compositions, and like some of the music's almost like unrecognizable. Would love
he says
to
he does it so he can connect with it, which is an interesting thing to hear. You know, like obviously I know some people have like a live rendition and other people have like, you know, studio rendition, they just play live type thing or whatever. But in this case, he's just performing. Do you know what I mean? As in he's just performing the song, which is I guess a very different take on it. Do you know what I mean? Because it sounds like from what Zayn was saying, or at least what I heard in that interview, it's like week to week, if not show to show, it's a different performance. Because Sampha's like, oh, actually, I'm going to play this chord, I'm going to play that chord. I guess that's the benefit you get of when you get a lot of good musicians together, is you have that kind of, not when I say jazz, I'm not saying the album sounds like jazz at all, but the idea of jazz is, you know, improvisation and, you know, a free flowing music. So if that's what Sampha's doing, then fantastic. And you know, it makes each show that bit more special.
Yeah. Well, I think he mentions I was reading an interview he did with the New York Times, and he said something about I think enjoying jamming and just like, you know, live sessions and stuff with other musicians and instrumentalists. And he also references Voodoo by D'Angelo. He actually said something like he listened to Voodoo right after completing this and then was like, oh, my album's shit. It's like, oh my God, it's really not. But I can understand why you would listen to Voodoo and be, because Voodoo is incredible, but it's just interesting because I think that was also an album that was really like that. It's sort of skeletons and its formation came about from jamming. I think like Questlove and D'Angelo and all the, you know, the musicians around at that time were just kind of fucking around and then came up with stuff. The last thing I'll say is, because Sam, you said something about some of it kind of making you want to dance, but it not having enough here or there. There's definitely going to be remixes, I think, for some of these songs. Like Timepiece for me is like almost a club tune. Almost. It's just there's just like it just needs a good remix and it will work in a club. A couple others as well, actually. I think is it Spirit actually where it towards the end of the track it really like picks up as well. And
you know, this music's just so pure though. I'd feel like I'm tarnishing it by just like adding like a dirty beat in.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you know what? Who I think would do it justice is someone like Jamie XX, because Jamie XX's music's like that to me at times as well. He can make an absolute banger. But do you remember In Colour from 2015? Some of that is it's got that very what's the word, like there's a sparsity to it. It's quite minimal in some ways, but it's also got just that club kind of feel, that, you know, that tempo.
It's light.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be a nice little combo, I think. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Timepiece gets a nice little remix at some point. That that goes off. Were there any other elements?
You're talking about that interlude track, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yeah, interlude. That's what, when you're saying Timepiece, I noticed the interlude. And it's like,
too funny, man.
Isn't it only 20 seconds long?
Track?
Yeah, is it 20 seconds long though? Yeah, it's 20 seconds long.
Can you pull it up? Am I
so you're talking about that one where someone is just like saying something repetitively, right?
Am I? Oh shit! Can we just?
That's funny though, because
I think you're thinking about Only.
That's
remix.
Right? They could get remixes.
Wait, am I saying the right track though? This is curious.
You're saying
J. Cole those years ago.
You're talking about Only.
No, I'm not talking about Only.
Only's my banger.
What track do you want,
though? Exactly.
Timepiece, clearly.
Is it Inclination Compass, Tenderness? Is that what you're?
Oh no, definitely not. No.
Oh, when do you say Timepiece or Can't Go Back? Is it Can't Go Back?
Play Timepiece, please.
Timepiece. You know what's funny? Look,
like
Timepiece. I've got it. Look, I was playing it earlier. It's only 20 seconds long. I'm on Timepiece, and that's what it make me laugh. It's definitely 20 seconons long.
I said, can we play Timepiece? How about we don't play Timepiece and you just figure out what song you're talking about? Because it's not Timepiece.
They could remix Timepiece if they want.
Was it Evidence?
Cool.
Let them do it.
Is it Evidence?
Right, I'm going to go on mute for a minute because I feel like I need
Evidence.
to tell you.
Oh no, I'm singing Evidence out as cancer, man.
I feel like I was doing so well up until this point as well. Like I was.
Sorry, I was hit the button.
Edit the fuck out of that.
Right. Whilst we move on to the next bit, I'm going to try and find which song it is. But yeah, the question I was going to ask is: were there any other beats? Were there any other aspects of the production that people were enjoying here?
Oh,
Suspended. There was a lot of vocal layering in that I enjoyed.
Suspended is one of the best songs I've ever heard.
Oh, Suspended is phenomenal, man.
Instantly
Suspended. Oh, Jesus, sounds like an angel.
And you feel about those drums as well. them drums that hit there is very, very like technical. It felt amazing.
But it was a song that
This is the
talked to
thing
you.
with-
You felt like you were actually ascending into heaven. I genuinely felt like that. It was just incredible. It's one of
And
my
he's
favorite
using
songs
his
on the
voice
album.
so different.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
The chorus is like a lower tone, and then he has this high.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
super
brilliant.
beautiful.
It's done so well. I love it. Everything about that track is just beautiful.
But I just that the song run, like I think, like let's just say from track 1
Yeah.
until
The
Jonathan Else Eagle. I don't like the end in it. Like the end. There's this moment, right? Okay, let's just say Dancing Circle, Suspended, and Satellite Business. Those 3
Yeah.
is such a good 3. Like
Oh,
I just
100%, yeah.
it always gets me.
Our satellite
as well.
business is phenomenal because the shift from suspended to satellite business is just, I think that's done so well. It's brilliant.
What are you going to say,
Sean's-
Stan?
I was saying, I think the whole album flows quite nicely. Like it's got this kind of up in the air, spacey feel, then it comes back down to earth a bit. But it's very rare that you get an album nowadays that flows nicely like this, and it feels like it's going places and it gets there. But I'm not quite sure where that place is because I just feel like I'm up in the clouds somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
I wish Only performed better though. I feel like it's a really pop sound. I don't know why it didn't catch on as much.
Oh, I still
Do you
love
know
that
what?
song.
I think it's one of those
because
songs that
lyrically-
people will say they like if they like the album, but it just will never get the kind of the popular ear because it's a bit experimental in places.
It is. Oh.
But I love that it's experimental
it is
in
the most pop.
places, though. It is the most pop out of all of them because obviously, if I'm picking, I probably Suspended is the best song out of it, but out of the album. But Only, I love what he's doing experimental wise on the track because he's doing loads of different bits. There's the harmony of the U. There's the way he's like sort of rapping within the verses.
The way he's spitting.
The way
He's
he's spitting is
spitting hard.
phenomenal. I'm sorry, he gasses me.
He's spitting like
then the bri-
Kendrick, but like it's just too much.
But then it's the bridge as well. The bridge where he's changing his tone and then building it up, and then it gets to the core. I love Only. I think how I love that he's experimented with that because it's just all the different elements that he's done to make Only is. I think it's phenomenal, but I don't think it will catch on. It is the most popular, but people would just go, "Oh yeah, it's all right," but whether he'll get the love it deserves, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sean, you worked out your track.
Like a Wally. Yeah, I'm feeling like a Wally, man. I was. Do you know what? I wish you had said it the first time. You know,
right.
I was back in school, like when you had like a bogey hanging out your nose and no one tells you, and then like someone eventually tells you. That's what that felt like. I feel like a dickhead. Anyway, the song that I was actually thinking of was "What If You Hypnotized Me." Don't ask me why I muddled it up with time, please.
Oh yeah, that could actually be remixed by Jamie XX. I can hear that.
So that is what I was thinking when I was saying timepiece. But listen, I'm ill. Can I live?
But that song's an example of something that's a bit kind of like I wanted to dance and I thought I was going to get to dance and it never got there because it just went into this kind of weird reverby, springy type place. Which again, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but there was a lot of times where it's like I felt like there's this tension building up and I never got to release it by wanting to move. I was just a bit like, you know what I mean? Like I was just kind of.
It's not about being suspended, man. Like it's not about that hit. It's just being thrown around in it.
You're doing the motions as well. Shit. No, but whilst I was trying to figure out what on earth I was going on about, you were talking about Only, and you mentioned about the sort of rapping elements. I mean, there's quite a few instances on here. We've touched upon the voice. We all know at this point Sampha's voice is incredible, but I'm right in saying he's never done like this before, where he is borderline rapping on some of these tracks.
He's rapping. Like there's not even.
He's
borderline
100% rapping.
thing.
He's
It's like
100% rapping.
he's adding melody sometimes, but like
yeah.
it is rap.
But that pocket he finds in Dancing Circles is crazy.
Oh,
It's
man,
ridiculous,
Dancing
isn't it?
Circles
Dancing
is such a
Circles
good
is.
song.
I love that song as well.
But that was again, that was another thing that I quite quickly picked up on, especially with like Spirit when that came out. When towards the end of that track, he's doing it there. There's a few instances. I like it, man. I like it. It's just I wonder if that was. Again, I'm thinking, is it something that just comes about? Like you're messing around, you're jamming, whatever, you start doing it, or whether he's like really sort of been, whether it's a real conscious decision and he's been working on that. I don't know.
I was going to say,
It's just
where do you
so-
think he got it
Oh,
from?
sorry.
Like from being around Kendrick, maybe, or is it?
I think it's
Yeah.
the Kendrick, like, because it's so interesting that like Crown sounds like this album, and like they have a kind of similar rap style. I don't want to say it's the exact same, but you can feel some influences with it.
Crown's interesting, actually. That's interesting. Yeah, I do wonder. I mean, way back we were. It was when my Wi-Fi went. I was going to say there was one of the producers on Mr. Morale was Duval Timothy, who I think may also be a pianist. I hope I'm getting this right. I'm not doing too well today, so I might be fucking it up again. But I wonder if this is an artist that has had some sort of influence on both artists, or whether Sampha's had influence on his piano skills, whatever. I'd be interested to know. But yeah, it does feel like there's been some creative crossover during that period of time. Yeah, man. No, I love it. But the singing as well, I mean, again, Sampha's had an incredible voice, but some of the stuff he's doing on here, like, what's the track called? Inclination Compass. That sort of the falsettos on that. Madness.
The way he's harmonizing himself though, and like stabbing these bits in, like especially in It's Suspended, it's the hype one, isn't it? Because that the way he's hitting it on the verse every time, it's like, oh, I don't know where I'm being taken. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, I get Stevie Wonder vibes at times on here, and I know that he before even dropping Spirit, he posted some pictures, I think, on socials, and I'm sure Songs in a Key of Life was in the background or something like that. So. There's definitely some Stevie influence on here. I think someone already mentioned Suspended and the kind of that whole harmony. I don't know what's going on there. That's another one where it's like when you listen to that the first few times, you're like, what is actually going on here? Like, what is? I love it, man. I love it. It might not make sense now, but I think it will. But I'd say it's probably one of my favorite tracks. There's some interesting features on here as well. Did you know that
my favorite being Yeji?
Yeji, trust me, that feature is sick.
Just pops up randomly and just starts singing in Korean. I was like, "Is this Yeji?" I'm like, "You don't have to ask that question, Sam. You know it's fucking Yeji."
Yeah, that was a cool one. What is the? Who's the other one? I'm like scared to say track names now.
PTSD.
Well, like, what if you hypnotize me? Has that Leah San?
Yeah, Leah San.
Yeah, I like the sound of them. I want to check them out.
Sen.
Are there any others actually? Because Sampha's, he's himself been an uncredited feature on stuff before. Did anyone catch anything else on
Who's
here?
the woman that's talking on Stereo Color Cloud, the first track?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I've been dying to find out who that is.
I mean, I should know because I spoke to her, but like,
but
did you know? By the way, I swear that's his wife on the cover. I'm 80% sure because I met her and like she looks very familiar.
Okay,
but I don't even know.
Yeah,
I didn't even pay attention to all that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's just interesting that she's there. I think 'cause I think a lot of the topics in this album actually do talk about their love and like how it pushes and pulls a bit and stuff.
Right.
I might be misinterpreting.
I know there's a lot of features on here, but they're not really like as pronounced as other features. I think as well. I could be wrong here, but I think Sampha's a fan of the aesthetic of not having the featuring in the title. And yeah, if the artist is on this like significantly, like with the Leah Sen, then he'll put you on as another artist in the line of it. But otherwise, the album's definitely got features in there. But I think it might be mostly from musicians. The only other voices we hear are like the speaking people, which aren't credited, and then Yeji and then Leah Smith.
So yeah, because
on Sen, sorry, fucking hell.
On the actual timepiece, the real timepiece, is that a French artist, or is someone speaking French in that?
Mm-hmm. They're definitely French, yeah.
No, it's the Club Banger's going to get remixed.
Yeah. Trust me. Big house tune, that one. Yeah, no, very interesting. And then also there's the choir, the choir-esque vocals on Jonathan L. Seagull as well. Has Sampha ever worked with soul?
I think he touches on soul, doesn't he? Like I said, he's got such a soulful voice. If we were trying to describe it, I guess
I would describe all of his music as soul, though. Like obviously, "Don't Touch My Hair" with Solange's, but
sorry, I said soul. I meant the group Salt.
The group Salt. SAULT. You're talking about, aren't you?
Yeah,
I was just on
man,
short.
pronounce your T's.
I'm ill, man. You got to let me on.
No, I got you.
Well, let me on.
Probably. Do you know what? If you think about it, if you think about UK artists and who's going to be around who for what reasons, Sampha at least definitely listens to Salt. Do you know what I mean? it sounds like his type of thing. But maybe he just like doesn't hear himself sounding good on it.
Yeah, Sampha's such a good producer off by himself, though. I don't think he needs people to produce for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be nice to see Sampha pop up on a Salt project or with our boy Inflow.
It would work.
But I just don't know if they can vibe together like that because
He's so distinctive, isn't it? It might
Salt
it might even be jarring. Like,
well, Salt is a thing. Like it's a vibe. They hit different pockets, and it's funky in places, it's soulful in places, it's R&B all over, and there's crossover there. But I think Sampha is that bit alternative to the point where I don't know if Salt or Inflow, for that matter, have that level of experimental or alternativeness in them to make it what we think it might sound like, which it won't.
They're different for sure. They have a palette that could work, but Sampha is very experimental.
yeah, I was just curious because I heard, like I say, I heard those sort of like that choir playing there, and was like, oh, I wonder, like if that was people that are involved in that collective doing that, or I don't know. It just got me thinking about whether they'd actually work together or not. Because that's probably like Jonathan L. Seagull is probably one of the most like traditional tracks in that sense. That's not a very. There's a lot more abstract experimental stuff on here, I feel, in comparison to that track.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like something from like Donda almost.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, I mean, I'm trying to think of other. We already mentioned Inclination Compass, didn't we? Yeah, I think just across the board, man, these vocals are incredible. I think the whole thing is this is when taking your time pays off for me. Is that, and I don't think it's like forced. I don't think by the sounds of things, it like this wasn't made over the 6.5 year period. I think it was more like 2.5. But I think the key is it sounds like Sampha's just lived life. He's kept working. He's been doing bits and bobs, But this album has come about through experience, and we got a similar thing with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Whether you liked it or not, there was a lot of substance in there and a lot of creativity, and it pays off. I think it definitely pays off, and I don't mind if we have to wait another 6-7 years. Obviously, I'd like to hear projects more often because we love his music. But if you're going to get something like this out of it, take your time, I'd say. Were there any final things people wanted to talk about before we get into favourite tracks? Have we skipped anything? Have we missed something important?
I think this album has a very unique place in my current kind of listening queue. It's hard. I don't know if I can describe the perfect environment to listen to it to. Like I feel like you can listen to it in any way, shape, or form. Whether you want to lie down and listen to it, whether you want to go for a walk and listen to it, drive and listen to it. Obviously don't listen to it in the gym because that's not for that, I would assume.
Nope.
But
No way.
It's one of those albums you can take with you anywhere, I feel, and the length is a good length as well. That's my kind of closing remark.
Yeah, me too. It's a good 40-45 minute length album. It can give you substance, but it's not overstaying its welcome. I agree. I think it's an album for a journey, whether that is walking or driving, whatever. I think it is very. It gets you thinking about. It was a bit like when a few of us went to see Past Lives. It gets you thinking about things. It gets you thinking about your own life. It gets you reminiscing. It even gets you almost like thinking about memories you haven't had. I know that sounds really strange, but just like things that could happen later in life, because he's I think a bit older than all of us. He's, Theo is a father here, but he's talking about things that the majority of us haven't experienced yet. There's a maturity to this, is what I'm saying, I guess, and it's brought out a lot of thoughts and emotions out of me, certainly over these past few weeks. It's pretty incredible in that sense.
I wouldn't even be able to guess what his next project would sound like either, but I just hope it comes from a place of happiness rather than where these two have kind of started and been is like, something bad's happened, I need to make an album, or I want to make an album. Like I hope he's just kind of like in that joy of being a dad, or maybe he has another kid as well, and that kind of joy takes over and he makes like that type of music, whatever that sounds like.
Do you not
like life treats
definitely.
him well? Yeah.
You don't think this sounds happy then?
It does towards the end for me.
I think it's persevering out of a dark place to be happy.
Okay, yeah, because I thought. I mean, I listened to Process fairly recently, and this is. I'd be
Yeah,
interested.
the contrast with Process is clearly there.
Yeah,
Big time.
But no, I guess you're right. There is melancholy here. It's not like it's not completely.
I mean, his voice just sounds sad. Let's be honest. Even
He touched on that in an interview as well. He said like, I'm aware that. Well, I think the interviewer said something about it. It's like, it can sound sad, but like actually, a lot of this music is coming from a positive place. But he's got. It's almost like, to me, I'm not saying they sound anything alike. They don't. But there's only one other singer from this country that brings about similar emotions when I hear them, and it's Tracy Chapman. There's just something about Tracy Chapman's voice that, no matter really what the song is, there's a lot of soul. There's a lot of I don't know if pain's the right word, but there's a lot there, and I get that from Sampha as well. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe he does need to get get back with Jessie Ware and start making these disco tunes, and then he'll put a smile on all our faces. We'll see.
Oh, big time.
No,
She's
I
killing
love what
it
he's
as well.
doing, man.
That'll be amazing.
She's killing it. Both of them are killing it, man. Yeah. That would be crazy. Imagine Subtracted like a reunion album with those two. What would that sound like?
Yeah.
But wasn't he on the other album?
He was on
Rat
Subtract's
Race.
album last year. That was
Yeah.
cool. That was cool.
Jessie
'Cause
Ware, though.
From
Oh.
what I thought, I didn't think they were going to collab again. So that was a really nice thing to see.
That's good. Yeah. They didn't beef, did they? They just kind of went
I
separate
don't think
ways. or-
Sampha's the beefing type. If that's
No, he doesn't.
No, I
really
think
sound
they were
terrible.
just doing different things, weren't they? Like Sampha's are very much like he controls how his sound is and all this kind of stuff.
Oh man, why was he working with Hedy? Maybe that he was like
a dark moment.
it was on the side.
maybe Hedy one was just like, I hear you being on this, and he was like, you know what, I'll do it.
Damn,
That was that Fred Again album, though, right? That was
Yeah.
Hedy was on a really good artistic moment in that.
I don't get the hype with flipping what's his name, Fred Again, but I'm willing to bear it just because other people like it, innit?
that could be the remix. That might be what we get. No, I'm joking. Okay, favorite tracks. Who wants to go first?
I think everyone's going to probably agree when I say Spirit, Suspended, and Only. I don't know if everyone might be a little bit different.
Mine are all different.
No,
At least
mine's
one you
similar.
like. Come
All
on now.
different.
Everyone is
All
like, if we're doing
different.
3.
Wow.
All different. Oh, I'll tell you my.
I'm confused.
I tell you my top, which it's always been the same, is Dance in Circles, Suspended, and Only. Them three, 100%.
I got Dancing Circles. Yeah. My absolute favorite is Inclination Compass. That's like, to me, that is I can't even no words for that one. Dancing Circles for sure. And then the third one's Timepiece. No,
Are you sure about that? Sure about
No,
that.
I really like I like Jonathan L. Siegel, but then like Suspended is creeping in there. It's like I say, like Blonde. It's just certain tracks are just starting to, they're like evolving every time I listen to them. But if I had to do 3, Inclination, Dancing Circles, and Jonathan L. Siegel. Yeah.
I think I'd pick Stereo Color Sound. I don't know. I wasn't liking the song the first few listens, and I think the fact that it's grown on me's made me like it loads. I just love everything about it. I love the weird talking stuff. Suspended, obviously, best song ever, and Jonathan L. Siegel. I just think it's amazing. Like when that beat drops in the second verse, and you're like, oh, that's an angel singing.
And I just clocked with you saying that when I was talking about falsettos earlier, I got the track wrong again, for fuck's sake.
I was confused when you said that.
I need to go to bed. Oh,
Okay, that's for the listeners that got to the end.
in the show notes, Sam, you just need to like correct, or like maybe like just edit it and just say what Sean meant was this.
I'm definitely not doing that. I was going to put a disclaimer. Sean is sick. And it
Okay,
shows
AI
in
in.
the
Sean's on one in this set.
Might have to get AI in. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Okay, well look, again, another first for us is I think we all kind of agreed before It just don't really feel right to score this. It's an incredible body of work. If you haven't listened to it yet, whether you're into hip hop and rap or not, this is beautiful and deserves to be listened to. Deserves to be appreciated. So get to it if you haven't done yet. I'm sure everyone has. But has anyone else got any final words?
Listen to the album if you haven't already, and if you haven't listened to the album, why have you listened this far into the episode?
Hey, this is Sean, and thanks for listening to another episode of The Grey Area. Are you an upcoming artist, critic, journalist, or content creator? Hit us up on our Discord or in our YouTube comments if you want to share new music, take part in an interview, or are interested in collaborating. Links to these can be found in the show notes. Take care.